Radio Rahim here with Eddie Hearn at a victorious event on all sides. You've sold the tickets, you've packed the stadium, you've got the victory. Yeah. Is this the most special night in boxing you've experienced?
Yes, I think so. I mean, it's one thing creating the event and selling the tickets and selling the pay-per-view, but when the product delivers, that's the sweetest thing. And I can't be responsible for that. Only the fighters can. But the good news is about Anthony Joshua is he always delivers entertainment. And that was probably the most enthralling heavyweight fight I've ever seen. You know, both guys down, both guys looking completely finished in the fight. And then the younger, inexperienced guy who looked like he'd emptied his tank, coming back to stop the on-top fighter. You know, unbelievable. The night I'll never forget.
Now, you're a pretty cool customer. I've seen you only get incredibly excited after a fight's been over. How hard was your heart pounding when Joshua hit the canvas?
Hard. I mean, it was like when he knocked Vlad down in the fifth, he lost his mind a little bit. He started screaming because he thought it was over. And he ran to the corner and I could see him like, and I said to him, calm, stay calm, stay calm. And then he went for him for like, I don't know, 35, 40 seconds. But Vlad's clever. You know, he's not like other guys who might just be like a rabbit in headlights. He was holding him, draining him. And he went back, he took a few at the end of the round, went back to the corner. And I thought, wow, he's tired, he's shattered. Came out for the sixth, very tired, and got hit with a huge right hand. And it was, I don't know how hurt he was, but he was just exhausted. And I didn't think he'd make it up. He made it up. He made Vlad miss a lot there, which I think was important. 7 and 8, he was able to get another breath, and 9 and 10 he won. And then the 10th round, 11th round, he knocked him out. So I was like, I was calm, but I knew what might happen. Do you know what I mean? But to be honest with you, like by then the fight was so good that if he lost the fight, you know, it never felt like it would have been the end of the world. Do you know what I mean? Because if you lose to Wladimir Klitschko in your 19th fight, it's really not a disgrace, you know. But what he did was he recorded an emphatic victory in the end, and just a fight that there won't be one person in here who left this arena and won't remember that for the rest of their life. And as a promoter, that makes me very proud.
Before the fight, you told me you were gambling, and clearly
he's not ready. You could see he's not ready. I keep saying, they say, is it too early for Anthony Joshua? Yes. You saw that tonight. If 5 or 6 fights time, he wins that fight inside 5 rounds every day of the week. But he's not been past 7 rounds. He hasn't boxed a fighter as clever as Vlad. He hasn't boxed a puncher like Vlad. You know, he hasn't boxed in front of a crowd like that. It's just, he's learning all the time. But to learn in that environment exposes you to, you know, all your inabilities, or all your weaknesses are exposed, especially in your 19th fight, because you get, now he goes, wow, how much he'll learn from that fight tonight. You can't buy experience like that. Right. You know, that's better than fighting 10 guys who you knock out in 3 rounds, which other heavyweights are doing.
To that point, you can't buy credibility like that either to take this fight. You know, people will assume that the promoter is the one that is pushing for these opponents. You know that you can sell out Wembley Stadium, you can break records. I'll just put him in there and let's get this money. But I do believe you when you say that he's the one picking. Do you argue with him about this? Like, this was a big challenge and a big gamble.
I think he should have taken the fight. And I presented the opportunities for him, and he lost me. But ultimately, Rob McCracken will make the decisions with AJ on terms of who they'll fight. I put the numbers down. I tell them what they're going to make, what I think, the strategy moving forward, and we make a collective decision. But he has the final say. I felt like it was the right fight because it was time to gamble. It was time to step up. He won the World Heavyweight title. He had 2 standard defences. The public want to see it. And we live in a world like this where social media engagement, you know what fans want. And I think, you know, that people don't want to part with their money unless it's what they want to see. Right. So they wanted to see that, as you saw tonight, and you know they'd want to see it again, and they'd want to see any other fight again of Anthony Joshua's.
Is this a double or nothing kind of bet?
In terms of what?
We take if Klitschko goes in there and demands a rematch, we doing this again?
100%, no problem. It was one of the best fights I've seen. Why not do it again? Klitschko will feel right now like he wants the rematch. But maybe in a week, 2 weeks, a month, he won't. It's a tough fight. It would have taken a lot out of him. but he will also feel like he nearly had him, Josh, and he did. So therefore it's like, oh, and it was probably one of his best performances of the last however long. German media said maybe of his career, you know. So listen, massive respect to him and fair play. We're not going to do anything. We'll speak to Bernd Bonti, we'll speak to Wladimir, see what they want to do. And of course, if not, a rematch, then huge fights out there anyway.
You said this is a 4-phase plan. We just completed phase 2, but you didn't mention what phase 3 is.
Phase 3 is the big heavyweight fights, like tonight. That was the test. Now phase 3 is probably 5-6 fights of the very best heavyweights in the world. I don't know what phase 4 is. I'll make that up when we finish phase 3. But that's what phase 3 is, and that starts next.
You know, lastly, every fan that has ever watched a video of mine can attest to the fact that, you know, I'm an honest guy, and I tell it like it is, and I ask the questions that need to be asked. So at the end of this fight, I was shocked because I've been here many times to London. I've seen incredible cards, incredible finishes. And then you came to the microphone to do an interview, and the crowd roundly booed you. I was stunned. And so I don't live here. What do you know what that's about? What's this?
It's kind of like a British thing. My dad gets it as well. Like, he puts on a lot of big events, and whenever he goes up to give out a presentation or something like that, they boo him. I guess you're just the bad guy because you're the one charging the money. You know?
Radio Rahim with the one charging the money. Eddie Hearn, excellent night.
Cheers,
Thank you again for having me.
Cheers, mate.
I can't wait to come back and do it again. Wait, hold on, we gotta get that.
Like
Boom.
That, no, a little like that, and then maybe no.
Where does this go?
Oh wow! Like little, no, any fun? Any fun?
Oh, I just got a little cooler. Yeah, see what I mean? This is why this guy, he outdresses me and then makes me cooler. Radio Rahim at Wembley Stadium for the first time. Anthony Joshua, Wladimir Klitschko, knockout in the 11th round. I predicted the 10th. I was about a minute and a half too soon, but that's damn close. We'll see you again in London. Can't wait.